Hello everybody, I hope you're doing really well. It is the summer holidays at the moment and I don't work during the summer holidays, so I've been off of work for 1 week so far and I really did not have many plans for the summer, and all of a sudden in this first week off I've been to see Oppenheimer, I've been to see Hamilton the musical in London, and I've also been to see the Barbie movie. And I just thought, because I haven't been vlogging, let me know if you want me to do some vlogs over the summer, I just thought that I would film like a little sit down chat with you to talk about all three things. I don't have a list of notes or anything, so this isn't, I don't want this to be a formal sit down video where I tell you all of my opinions on the Barbie movie, etc, etc, but I want it to just be more like vlog style. Like, I've made myself an iced coffee, and where we can just kind of sit down and chat, and like a stream of consciousness almost, because I want to kind of just share my experiences, like going to London and stuff, and also what I thought of each thing that I saw. There will be spoilers in this video. I'm going to assume that you've already seen the three things that I'm going to be talking about, so if you don't want spoilers, I am going to timestamp down below each section of this video, so that, you know, if you haven't seen Oppenheimer yet but you want to listen about Hamilton and Barbie, then you can kind of skip forward to those bits. But let's just get straight into it. Typically on a Friday, myself and my brother drive and we go and visit our dad normally, and we have dinner, we play board games, and then we drive home. But not the Friday just gone, the Friday before, Dad texted us and was like, "Hi guys, do you want to see Oppenheimer?" And I'm going to be completely honest, I genuinely hadn't even heard of it, and it was the release date. I had no idea. The only things I've actually seen, like advertising wise, is when people are saying that they're going to watch Barbie and Oppenheimer on the same day. Like, I genuinely hadn't seen the trailer, hadn't seen posters or anything, and you know, I'm not going to miss up on a cinema trip, and I was like, yeah, of course I'll come. I watched the trailer, and still, I feel like I wasn't really paying that much attention, but I could tell it had something to do with nukes. That's kind of all I really knew. And then met with my family, and when we were queuing up for like popcorn and stuff, I remember being like, "So Dad, so what, Oppenheimer was a real person?" And he was like, "Yes, he was." And he kind of gave me a little bit of backstory, which, to be honest, I probably wasn't really paying that much attention to. And my brother was telling me that Christopher Nolan directed it, and I was like, I don't know who that is. Like, I've heard the name, and he was like, Inception, stuff like that, and I was like, oh, okay. And when I watched Oppenheimer, now normally I get dragged to those kind of films with my dad and my brother. Like, they're much more into, like, that wasn't an action film at all, but they're more into like action movies and stuff, and whatever they want to watch, I'll just kind of like run along like with them. But I do like, to be honest, even though I'm dressed like a Barbie right now, my favourite kind of film is like psychological thrillers. I really like Shutter Island, I like Prisoners, I like Law Abiding Citizens, stuff like that. Anyway, this is not a film review at all. I actually really liked it, and it's 3 hours long, and I didn't really feel it that much, and I found it really interesting. The way it was like shot, right, I was definitely confused in the beginning, and I wonder if most other people were confused in the beginning, I don't know. But you know, as the film's progressing and you're getting clips of Oppenheimer being like quizzed and like interviewed, and then you've got clips of the guy who wants to be like a senator or something, doesn't he? He's being questioned. And then I'm like, I don't really know what the point is. And then at the end, it kind of all, I understood more about what was going on. But yeah, I found it like quite interesting, like especially at the beginning when it's like he's going here to get educated, he meets this person, he then gets told he should go here to learn about this, and then he meets this person, and then he starts doing this and this, and I liked that. And I liked the part when they're kind of like building the town and just like thinking about what that's like, and how there was someone who was spying and stuff. I liked those kind of bits. And also I really liked the clips of when they actually did their test, and then all you could hear was someone like heavy breathing, and it was just like this like magical cloud of smoke and fire and God knows what, and I'm like staring at it in awe. And there were a couple of like jump scares, like for me anyway. So obviously that happened, and then there's the bang, and I was like, oh my gosh, in my seat. But I liked it. I wouldn't like buy it on DVD. I would probably watch it again. I think with films like that, there's a lot of films. I guess it's the same with Inception, with Source Code, with Shutter Island. Like, once you get to the end, you're like, oh right, and then you kind of, when you watch it back, you'll just have more understanding, won't you, as you watch the same clips again. So I think I actually would watch it again. But yeah, it was good, and I think my family enjoyed it. There was an advert though before the film started, and I am a wimp when it comes to scary films. I don't watch scary films. The scariest film I've ever watched was House of Wax, you know, when I was a teenager. I just get scared far too easily. I watched a little bit of The Grudge once, and that just like scarred me. But there was an advert for something called like The Haunting of Venice or something, and it got to a point where I had to sit there with my hands over my eyes so that I didn't look, because even though in that moment I wasn't scared because I was like with my family and stuff, I knew that the images I was seeing when I'm in bed by myself that night, those images would just like come in my mind, and I was like, I can't look at things that I'm gonna like remember later on, so I had to like close my eyes, which was a little bit embarrassing. But yeah, so that was like a nice sort of cinema trip. That was on my first day off, because I finished on Thursday, and then yeah, Friday we went to the cinema. And then there was Hamilton, which is something I was very, very excited for. So I got 2 tickets to see Hamilton from my ex-boyfriend at Christmas time, as like a joint Christmas and birthday present. And I was never really sure who I was going to take. He wasn't really into musicals. In the end, like, as this time's going on from Christmas to July, my 12-year-old sister is becoming more and more and more obsessed with Hamilton herself. And it's something that I introduced her to, the Disney Plus version, a while ago, and she wasn't really sure about it. And then all of a sudden, she's got friends who are really into Hamilton and Heathers and everything, and she's really into it. She loves Daveed Diggs. And she like sings all the songs. She knows, like, if you know Hamilton, she knows like Lafayette's raps, and I don't even know them. Like, I know a lot of words, but I cannot rap to any of Lafayette's stuff, and then she's there doing it because she knows all the words. She watched The Little Mermaid, and Daveed Diggs is the crab in that, and then she's just loving it. And I was like, hold on a minute, she's about to turn 13 in August. This makes sense for me to take her as an early birthday present, so that's what I did. We didn't go up for like the whole day, we just went out for the evening, which I didn't even realise Southwest Trains do like an evening out ticket. So if you leave after 2 PM and you're back after 7 PM, you can use that ticket, and so it's cheaper. So I was like, oh great. So we went into London, we were at Waterloo, we got the tube to Victoria, and yeah, it was really nice firstly to actually be in London again, and it made me miss living there. And I think, is 30 too old to like move to London? I don't know. I wouldn't want to settle down there though, that's the thing. I wish I'd actually stayed there after uni, and stayed out there, but hey, it is what it is. And so it was nice to be in London, and also it was nice to like teach someone, like, so you had to stand on the right hand side of the escalator if you're just standing still. And I was basically saying to her, like, everyone in London is in a rush. If you're trying to get on the escalator, they're going to push past you, and that's exactly what happened. Even though she's a child, a lot of people just push past you, and I was like, we came to the conclusion, I was like, you're too polite for London. But yeah, so to be fair, the tubes were quite quiet, and there was only that one instance of people pushing in front of her to get on the escalator. But to actually get on the tube, I was kind of pre-warning her, like, getting on the tube and off, you just have to kind of make your way through, and people might not be accommodating. There was a guy in like a suit when we were getting on the actual train. We stepped back to let a woman and her daughter off. They both had suitcases, and as we did that, he just like pushed past us, and it's like, you know, the train's not gonna leave without you. But yeah, so we made our way to Victoria. So Hamilton was at the Queen Victoria Palace, is that what it's called? Queen Victoria Palace Theatre, something like that. Have I written it down? I've done some junk journaling about it. Victoria Palace Theatre, okay. So we headed to Victoria, and when we came out of Victoria, I was like, I don't know where you want to eat. We can have a look around, but right opposite us was a Shake Shack, and I know that Shake Shack is kind of popular at the moment, and so we were like, let's just go there. She had a cheeseburger, I had a shroom burger, we had some fries and some shakes, and honestly, the shroom burger was so delicious. It was so good. So I'm really glad that we went there, and then we basically headed straight to the theatre. We were there a bit early, we looked at some merch. She bought herself a water bottle. I bought her a hoodie that we're saving for her actual birthday. So I told her she has to forget that I've bought it for her. And then I bought myself, I actually have them here. I bought myself a little key ring that has like the Hamilton star and then a quill there with Hamilton written on the back, which I thought would be a nice little thing for me. And I also got myself a shot glass, but there's something wrong with it. So that's a bit annoying. So it's a shot glass. It says I'm not throwing away my shot, but you're probably not gonna see this. But the R on throwing has been put on weird, like it's wonky, it's rubbing off. And so I emailed Hamilton West End and Delphort Macintosh Theatres 5 days ago. Haven't had a reply yet. Delphort Macintosh Theatres have a little automatic reply that said I'd get a proper response in 3 days, and I haven't had that. So we will see, but I might email them again next week, because I just would like for them to send me another one in the post so that I don't have to go up to London to replace it. I don't know. Hopefully they do send me a new one, because I think that's about like £6 or £8. But yeah, I thought that was cool anyway. I'm not throwing away my shot. I thought that was cool. The actual show, let me take a drink. Let me take a sip of drink. The actual show was so good. I loved it. At parts I was like, I kind of wish I wasn't so obsessed with it, because you know everything that's coming next, and I've watched Hamilton on Disney Plus probably like 10 times, and I've listened to the soundtrack a million times. I've got it in my car on a CD, and so I kind of wish I'd had some time to forget about it. Like Heathers I saw 5 years ago, and if I watched it now, there's definitely some things I would have forgotten. We knew everything that was gonna obviously come up next and everything that was gonna happen, but that didn't stop me from, after the first couple of songs, becoming again like really invested in it. And I cried, obviously. I cry at pretty much everything, but Philip's death I cried and sobbed at. The end I cried at, and I cried at something else. I think it was Satisfied. And I really did become kind of invested again and like consumed by the show. So that was good. And I think sometimes there's going to be that kind of comparison, isn't there, where you've watched something and something is so easily available to you on Disney Plus. You can watch the same actors do the same riffs, the same way they sing, the same way they act again and again and again, and then you watch someone different do it. However, there were some people in the show that I just thought were standout amazing. Joel Montague, is that how you say it, plays the king. He's actually Carrie Hope Fletcher's husband. which I just think is funny because I love Carrie Hope Fletcher. But anyway, he's her husband. He was an amazing king. He just like added some different personality to the role of the king. He was so funny. His facial expressions were like really good. And it was funny as well when we saw him walking out, some younger people were like, because I think they knew who it was. And you know, they probably, I don't know, they might have gone for him specifically, but yeah, he was really good. And also I really loved this guy who I'd never heard of before. He's called Lem Knight, and he played Lafayette and Jefferson, and he was just amazing. He just like made the roles his own completely. He acts so differently from Daveed Diggs that I don't know, I was amazed by him, to be honest. He was doing all these extra riffs. He gave Jefferson more of like a sassy, even though he is quite like sassy in the original one, but way more like sassy and theatrical and stuff, with a lot more attitude, and I loved him. I actually preferred him. My sister was like, you cannot say that, because she loves Daveed Diggs, but it was a really enjoyable show. Also, really comfortable seats, really comfy. I sat down and I was like, this is nice and cushioned. But yeah, it was a really nice kind of like sisters evening out, and then we got the train home and she was like, she kept saying thank you to me, and I was like, this is just so sweet. And I think she'd love to go back to London, do some sightseeing. Also, she really wants to see Heathers, but I don't think she's old enough. And she said that she would like to see Wicked, which is something I would like to see again as an adult, because I thought that was pretty amazing. I did some junk journaling that I kind of wanted to just show you briefly, but this is my kind of page on Hamilton and seeing Hamilton. I basically stuck down our train tickets and our return tickets, our bus tickets, her tube ticket, and a picture of me and my sister here. And then I stuck down some of the packaging that the merch came in down here, and like have this Hamilton thing as like a little tab. And then my junk journal is like Snow White themed, so it's this Snow White story with added pages in it, and so I like the idea of keeping some of the Snow White pictures. And then conveniently, this picture is of the dwarfs playing musical instruments and stuff, which I just thought was really funny and just like really suited the page. So I kept that picture and then I kind of journaled around it, and then I've got receipts from Shake Shack up here. So it's actually one of my favourite pages. A nice little memory page there. I'm actually loving my junk journal, to be honest, but yeah, it was a really lovely evening. My feet are getting a bit dead. I've just had to like change position a little bit. But then we have the Barbie film, and I'm actually wearing the outfit that I wore to go and see Barbie, because yes, I did specifically buy pink clothes to go and see Barbie, okay? I knew that my sister was, my mum bought my sister a pink dress specially, and my cousin said she was gonna wear pink, and I was like, let's just do it. I don't own anything pink. So from Simply Be, amazingly, I got this bright pink top with like this heart-shaped cutout, very cute, and then this floral skirt that's got like pink flowers all over it. And I actually need to do a return because I ordered more pink stuff. There's this like satiny skirt that I really liked. It was just too big for me. And also I wore these rings, right, which they're heart-shaped, and I bought these from ASOS a couple of years ago because they just reminded me of my childhood, and I thought they were quite like funky and cool. And then since buying them, I've never worn them outside the house because I just thought they don't match my outfits. For work, I dress very like, I don't know, just not this kind of vibe. And then I kind of, as I was getting ready, I like had straightened my hair, wearing pink lipstick, and I was like, I should dress like this more. Like I should just, why not wear pink? I think I always avoided pink because I was like, oh, I'm not like a pinky kind of girl. I'm not one of those girls who dresses up loads and stuff. And actually, why why not? I did junk journal about Barbie, but I went to go see Barbie with some of my family. I have 2 cousins that I normally go and see everything with, basically. We're all into musicals and Disney and stuff, so we've been to the cinema a few times together, we've been into London together, and I knew that I wanted to see the Barbie movie with them. Then it turns out my 12-year-old sister wanted to see the Barbie movie, and then my brother said as well that he would watch it too, so managed to get him to come along as well. He wore like a pink jumper, which I thought was cool, that he was dressing up as well a little bit. And yeah, we went to go see Barbie. I again junk journaled about it, got a picture of all of us next to the Barbie advert in the cinema, and then a selfie I took of my outfit because I want to remember it. And then on this kind of flappy page I printed off America Ferrera's speech, and then I just journaled like some of my thoughts kind of about the movie. I might actually read out what I wrote down. I don't know, it feels a little bit embarrassing, but I might just do it anyway. I mean, first thing I wrote was that View had candy floss flavoured Tango Ice Blasts, and that was delicious. And I was tempted as we were leaving the cinema to go and buy another one to like drink in the car, but the queue was really long, so I didn't. But yeah, candy floss flavoured Tango Ice Blast, love it. But like the Barbie movie in general, when it first started I was like, this is amazing. Like I don't think I can even talk about the Barbie movie without crying. That just but when it first started I was like, wow, this is amazing, like everything's perfect, it's literally Barbie. And obviously I used to play with Barbies when I was younger. I feel like every one of us did. And then I really got into Bratz as well. But yeah, and then just I had already heard America Ferrera's speech because I'd accidentally seen spoilers on TikTok. But I really didn't know much else about the story, and I just found it really interesting. It's like, I feel like it's like girlhood was like just summed up in a movie. The things like about men like loving The Godfather and stuff, I don't know, like I'm just like, I've literally had men mansplain The Godfather to me. I've had a man play the guitar in front of me and I'm like, wow, that's great. Like all this stuff, I'm like, yeah, that's happened, that's happened. And just when the young girl Sasha was like, oh, what, you all own your own houses? That's cool, and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, that's the kind of message that we want to be giving to like children and stuff, don't we? Like, you can literally do anything you want. And I don't know, I just found it really interesting. But I did cry quite a bit. And to be honest, at the end of the movie, I was just like bawling my eyes out. I feel like the movie like really did impact me and it really affected me at the time. And I need to think about like, I want to take that and I want to do something with it. I felt such strong emotions over something. Surely that should now affect something that I do differently in the future. So I think I'm still trying to like work that out, but I was listening to the soundtrack this morning, I cried, and part of me is like, especially at the end of the movie, I was a bit like, why am I crying? But anyway, I wrote down some journaling kind of like next to the speech, and I'm just going to read it. It's only a small bit. I think I could have written like pages. So I wrote, the Barbie film made me sob, and I've underlined sob because it really did. I was super emotional for a number of reasons. I hope to grab a copy on DVD so I can rewatch. Definitely want to buy it on DVD, and I want to be able to like rewatch it a lot. When Barbie recalled the mum's memories, I cried. Definitely, because like, I found that like a really kind of emotional moment. Like the mum had all these great memories of playing Barbie with the daughter. Like I thought that was just like lovely. At America Ferrera's speech, I cried. definitely. Then at the end I sobbed. Even when the lights turned on, I was bawling and covered my face, which is true. The lights turned on and I couldn't even look at anybody that I was with. I was just like this, like crying. And I have been like that for the Titanic and I have been like that for The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. That's it. It was a mixture of, and then I tried to kind of sum up, but I think there's so much more and I wish I could rewatch it again now. It was a mixture of the beauty of femininity, being able to experience emotions, like the fact that we have all these emotions but they're still really beautiful, like, I don't know. And how Barbie chose all of that, which I thought was a really beautiful thing. The montage of women and families, that's when I kind of started crying. I just found that so kind of beautiful. Like, it just makes you, well, it made me just kind of think like, yeah, life is beautiful, I guess. Like, we're lucky, really, aren't we? Like, the way that we're made, we already kind of beat the odds, you know? Sperm and the egg, and then it turned into us. And we really should just value everything, because you really do only live once. But anyway, the montage of women and families, we all share these experiences, and then I did an arrow to the speech because there is so much in there that I think all of us can relate to. We can be anything we want, we can own our own dream houses, who cares if Ken likes us? I want to buy a Barbie to represent all of this and more, and I really do. And I think that I'm going to take myself to Smith's and I think I'm gonna try and find a Barbie. I mean, I was looking at the movie Barbies and they're £45. But I know that there are some curvy Barbies and brunette Barbies, and I think maybe I'd like a Barbie who looks like me, maybe. So I might just go and have a look at Barbies and stuff in Smith's. And yeah, I'm gonna buy a shelf for my bedroom anyway, that I was going to put some prints on, and then I think I might have Barbie just sitting on the shelf. But yeah, because I just think why not buy a Barbie at 30 years old, you know? And I was listening, it might have been America Ferrera in an interview, she was saying how in society, like, men play as an adult and we see that as fine, but if a woman plays, it's not. So like video games, even though more women are playing video games now, it's still like very much a male kind of dominated thing, isn't it? And was more aimed towards men, definitely. And so like men with video games, Scalextrics, model trains, and like Warhammer stuff, like you're painting little models and you're moving them around, and it's all a fantasy world and all this. And then for women, our kind of fantasy, I mean, except I guess The Sims, our fantasy world, like, we don't really do as much of that, and we would be seen as childish if we bought ourselves a Barbie and we were playing with it, or, you know, which I thought was really interesting. And actually I want to just buy a Barbie because I can. Like, I'm a fully grown woman who earns her own money, lives by herself, pays her rent and her bills all by herself, gets to live my life, day-to-day life, really how I want to. I can buy a Barbie if I want to. And this, I just feel like as well, Barbie is just so, I never really thought about Barbie that much before, but like really the fact that she has like all these careers, she does own her own house, and you know, she says to Ken like, it's Barbie's dream house, not Ken's, or something like that. Like, that's, yeah, like, why can't I buy a Barbie? So I'm gonna buy a Barbie. Maybe I'll vlog it. I've changed position again. But yeah, I just feel like there are so many thoughts that I have on the Barbie movie that are kind of, they're all just like swirling around in my brain. And so I'm probably not the best at articulating them at the moment. But then I remember like another scene and I'm like, yeah, and there's that as well. Or like another bit of the speech and I'm like, yeah, and that too. But there is, I feel like there is just so much pressure, and we can really fall into like whether a man likes us or not. And the fact that Barbie was like, what if Ken doesn't like me anymore? And then Gloria's like, well, he did brainwash your friends and take over your house and blah 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 blah. like, why would you want to like him, you know? And yeah, I just found it really, really interesting. Just the end, and Barbie just like, the whole like, what was I made for, and like what's my purpose and stuff, and how that's a thing as well. I don't actually think anyone who I went to see Barbie with cried. I think I was the only one. But I've seen a lot of people online are saying that they were really emotional. So at least I don't feel like alone in that. But I think ultimately, I just felt like the film kind of summed me up. Not that I think I'm a Barbie, but yeah, I don't know, I feel like it got me, and I was like, wow, yeah, there's that, yeah, there's that. Gosh, there's that. And like, why can't you just wear pink? And oh, when the lawyer says something like, because surprisingly I can hold logic and emotion at the same time, or something like that. And I'm like, yes. Because there's literally quotes of people being like, a woman shouldn't be president because she might get too emotional and then decide to start a war. Like, I don't know. But just, yeah, I was just like, yeah. The weather has now all of a sudden gone like really grey, and it started raining, so the lighting is not the best right now. But yeah, that is kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Just, I've gone and done 3 cool things, wanted to kind of share them with you. I think I might vlog going to get a Barbie, or whichever one I buy. I might, I also want to do some like redecorating and some organising in my flat, so I'll film that. And also, where autumn stuff and Halloween stuff is coming out in like TK Maxx and HomeSense, I want to buy some stuff. And Matalan too, oh my goodness. So I might have a look online at Matalan. But yeah, don't hate me, I know it's still July right now, but I am kind of getting excited for the colder months. But yeah, anyway, let me know down below if you have seen Oppenheimer or Hamilton or the Barbie movie. Please let me know like what you thought about them, whether you cried. I don't think I cried at Oppenheimer, so that's a win for me. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little chatty video, and I will see you in my next one.